Of late, I've been seeing a lot of new moms while the babies are in the crib, probably a few months old. They're showing a lot of flashcards. They want the children to probably learn faster. How does this affect the children?
Ideally, what we need to understand is that the human brain, is capable of developing itself. It needs just three basic things. One is the nutrition that we physically give it. Secondly, it needs to have a safe ecosystem, meaning loving adults who can sort of calm them, meet their needs, etc. And the third is the most important, which is stimulating environment. Now, this word stimulation has been taken out of context and has fallen prey to a lot of these trends. Point is, we need to understand that different sensory systems develop over a period of time, and that's how the brain is wired. It has a natural progression, because otherwise nothing on the earth will work. Everything in nature has a natural progression. Just like a seed is able to destroy itself and become a small seedling and then grows into a large tree, we need to understand that the nervous system develops in a particular order. It's already predetermined. Baby has to first learn how to use the sucking response itself. I'm not using the technical words, but that response. Then it moves to the hands. The child is exploring with the hands. You'll notice even your chain, spectacles, they want to use their hand.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter dominance, non-dominance, it doesn't matter, but the brain is making sense of touch-based experiences. Then you'll know that they're using the auditory experiences, the smell sense is used. All of these senses are extremely important because they develop essential parts of the brain for future learning. When you use the visual sense, technically it develops only around 7.5.
Is it months?
7.5 years. Okay, and I'll tell you why. I can see before that. I can look at all of this, but to see and to process the name of a color, to see and to process a shade of blue, to see and to recognize a pattern, to see and to add a pattern to a sound and then to meaning, all of these are very complex and they are chains. They go through specific processes. Now when you do this, the infant stimulation they call it, they have different names. When you use a flashcard, what you're doing is that the ciliary muscles which hold the eyeball, they're very small muscles, fine motor muscles, they develop very slowly, and they develop only after the physical body has developed, the gross motor muscles have developed. So for example, when the child goes out and then you throw a ball and they're tracking that ball across the sky, they're developing peripheral vision, they're developing the ability to move the eye muscles to be able to follow a line, so many things. When you deprive the child of all that, or you've not even given an exposure, and then you go into this sudden infant stimulation, what you're actually creating, and I've probably said this many times, is that you're limiting the eyes to a very small space, and you create what is technically called an ocular lock. An ocular lock is where your eyeballs fix in one place. Evolutionary biology wise, that is how a deer responds when it's been attacked by a lion.
Okay.
And it's a cortisol stress response. During that period, the auditory part is cut off. So therefore, you're overstimulating one sense without stimulating another sense, which is essential for reading. Reading does not mean just recognizing visual patterns. Reading involves the ability to look at something, cut out the background, look at the foreground, number one. Secondly, to understand what sounds go to that pattern. Third, adding meaning to that. And fourth, applying it in a particular or a relevant situation. When these four are there, that's what is called reading. However, the new age mom who's been looking at hashtags and trends is looking at visual perception, pattern recognition, and equating it to reading.